I would come out there and give everybody a Charlie Batch bro hug. But I think everyone's just going to have to settle for the standard hoka hey here. Afternoon, happy Tuesday to everyone. It's a happy week to be a Steelers fan. I have not recalled hearing from more fans, more excited, more emotionally moved by any Steelers win in recent memory. At least certainly not going back over the last couple of years. It was a special thing to witness. It was a special thing to experience in the Steelers locker room. I wrote my Monday column about Charlie Batch, but I'm not done with that game. I'm not ready to look ahead to the San Diego Chargers and Norv Turner and whatever else. To me, there was a lot to appreciate about that game that goes beyond what Charlie Batch did. I'm going to share with you 4 of those today and making some mental notes in the drive back from Baltimore. One is James Harrison. Now, there's the obvious play. You saw what he did with the strip sack. It's an enormous play. It's the kind of thing you used to expect from James Harrison all the time. When he got emotional after that play, and I don't know that they showed this on television, but when he did his big dance and got all fired up and then motioned over to the sideline like, now it's your turn, now win the game, that's the culmination of an awful lot of hard work. People who don't see these things behind the scenes can't appreciate what he's done to come back from the knee injury and the knee swelling and the knee draining and draining it again, the overnight acupunctures, the time spent in an oxygen tube, and all the other things that these guys do. Yeah, they're well paid. They're very handsomely paid, but they do make legitimate sacrifices of their bodies and of themselves. And for me, to see Harrison make that play, to react to it the way he did, and more important, to have it be the result, a culmination of really 3 good games in a row for James, that's a heck of a thing. And, I asked him after the game about the emotional reaction that he had, and very typically he just downplayed it and said, we won the football game. I'll tip a cap here to Cortez Allen as well. Cortez Allen was thrown on the outside to play corner in place of Ike Taylor when he had only functioned as the nickelback. The Steelers really see him as a pure nickelback. He went out there and covered one of the NFL's, I think, most dynamic receivers in Torrey Smith, a guy that Joe Flacco targets endlessly. And he hung right with him. Yeah, there was the one drive where they went at him twice. I thought Torrey Smith pushed off the one time. Cortez Allen did the job. I don't know if he'll do it again against San Diego. You can be sure they're going to try to pick on him too. They pass a lot. But for this week, he gets another nod. Ramon Foster, in addition to being one of my favorite guys on the team, just a funny guy, a friend of the show, I might add, Ramon had to help out Kelvin Beachum at right guard. It's funny because I was joking with Ramon last week. I said, why don't you just play right guard and right tackle? And he goes, no, man. And sure enough, today, Mike Tomlin in his press conference credits Ramon Foster for helping out Beachum, and not just verbally, but helping him out physically at right tackle. That's a big reason the Steelers were able to win that game. If right tackle isn't solid, Charlie Batch doesn't get past the first quarter. Last one I'm going to give it to, and I've been kind of tough on him this season, is Mike Tomlin. I thought he handled just about everything, other than the hints last week that Ben might play, about as well as you can for a head coach. And I'll start with something that happened before the game, and that's the benching of our friend, Rashard Mendenhall, who, and you can pretty much say goodbye to Rashard at this point. He's headed into the doghouse. Tomlin suggested today he's going to come back. I don't believe that. Mike Tomlin made all the right calls on the field. There were no disputes. He kept a cooler head. even after the game, with that nonsense, the handshake stuff, a coach grabs you the way John Harbaugh did. Tomlin could turn around and turn that into something pretty bad. Instead, he just said, hey, dude, whatever. Turns around, goes into the locker room. I loved his explanation for it today, mostly because I believe it. Tomlin said he wants to get into that locker room area because he greets the players as they come off. If you've never seen video of this, it's something that is always enjoyable to watch after a Steelers game. Tomlin will actually stand right by the door. Every single player who comes off, even those who didn't play at all, he'll shake their hands and have some kind of unique word for each one of them. All 53 guys. That is more important than entertaining a Harbaugh or getting drawn into one of these petty disputes that the Harbaughs, and I use the term plurally on purpose, like to get into. John Harbaugh wanted to start something. He wanted to stir something up. Mike Tomlin wanted no part of it, walked away from it, went into the room, and was yelling at his guys as they went by, to some of them, tough team, because he clearly didn't appreciate that in Pittsburgh, John Harbaugh had suggested that the tougher team had won when the Ravens pulled that one out. When we come back,